seems like there was a counter-argument just not too long ago in California.
That's right. Courts in California disagree with what Ms. Joshi said, but you could see it from either way, and the way she tells it, she's really defending a driver's right. As anyone who takes Uber or any other app-based car service regularly knows, drivers oftentimes work for multiple services. You'll get a driver who works for a black car company, who also works for Uber, who also works for Lyft. And what she's saying is they are trying to, as the TLC, defend these freelance drivers' rights to work for as many companies as they like.
And as she told you, our story on Bloomberg.com says she was speaking of the drivers. They don't have the security of employment. They don't have the security of guaranteed income.
Well, this is the exact problem, and it's what drivers in California were actually fighting for. So while she is telling us that she's defending the rights of drivers here, a lot of drivers may not want the kind of rights that she's pushing for. You know, they want to have health insurance. They want to have full-time employment benefits. And as long as drivers are put forth as freelance workers, they can't get that sort of thing.
And she did tell you that there's a little bit of a disagreement with part of that California ruling, right, as relates to Uber reimbursing a driver for more than $4,000 in expenses incurred over 8 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of details here that probably need to be worked out by a New York court, and you can bet it'll come to that eventually. Obviously, California tends to be a front runner in these cases and tends to lean a little bit to the left as well. That's definitely the case here. The question is, what's going to happen in New York? You know, we're more of a fight-for-yourself kind of city, aren't we?
Oh, very much so. That's an understatement.
But it was a really fascinating conversation. You know, beyond Uber, we spoke with her about the traffic problem. Yeah. And over the past few years, traffic has only grown worse and worse and worse. And she contends that it may be a problem of these app-based car services. Maybe that industry has grown too much, and that's why we have so much traffic. Whereas I contend that the problem is people are allowed to double park willy-nilly, and yellow cab drivers slowly cruise up avenues and then cut across lanes without signaling to pick up fares. So I think there needs to be a little bit more ticketing of double-parked cars and maybe a massive congestion charge. On the latter point, we agreed. She thought a congestion charge of some sort should also be put into place.
What's coming up?
What's coming up throughout the program? We're going to talk a lot. Alex Steele is going to come on and talk to me a little bit about the commodities situation as it relates to Iran. Obviously, you saw the price of oil come down earlier this morning. Obviously, West Texas crude isn't their measure, but we look at that, and the reason is a lot more oil will be coming online.
All right, Matt Miller. He's from Ohio. He said willy-nilly. Matt,
the great state of Ohio.
So